Hey everyone, Kaylee here with this braided crown updo inspired by Demi Lovato. She wore this on the X Factor recently, and I tried it out and Instagrammed it as well, and a lot of people asked for me to do the tutorial then as well, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Now this is a little bit difficult, I'm not going to lie, but I think it's definitely doable. First of all, you want to make a deep diagonal part, and then separate your hair starting about 3 or 4 inches back from the hairline and going toward until your ear. And once you get to your ear, that's kind of the end of your section there, and you want to clip that out of the way. And then repeat the same thing on the other side, going 3 to 4 inches back from your hairline until you get right to your ear, then part that hair off and secure it with the clip. Then separate your hair from about the occipital bone up and separate that out of the way, and that is our final section. We're going to start with the section that's up in the front, and we're going to do our first very big Dutch braid. This is kind of the focus braid, if you will, of the style. So you're going to start at the back of the part, and you're going to braid forward toward the face, doing a Dutch braid. The reason that you do that is so that it looks really pretty when it gets up to the face, because it's a lot thicker and bigger, so it has kind of more of a statement to it, and you don't have any weird like areas where there's no braid yet, if that makes any sense. So you just braid forward until you get to the hairline, and then go ahead and turn your hands and start braiding along the hairline. And you want to keep this about medium tension here. We're going to go back and kind of pull the braid out a little bit to make it as big as possible, especially if you have fine hair like mine, because you're definitely going to need to do that to get that big voluminous braid like she had. And then you're just going to keep braiding until you completely incorporate all the hair from that section. So you should get down to the top of your ear, or maybe even just a little bit behind your ear, depending on how you took that section. And then of course, once you get there, all you're going to do is braid the rest of the hair normally. And once you've braided all of that hair, you want to go ahead and secure it with a small band to make the rest of this hairstyle easier, so that it's not unraveling while you're trying to work on the hairstyle, because that would not be any fun. So once all that's done, you're going to go ahead and take your fingers and begin to pull the braid apart a little bit. What that's going to do is to make it look about twice as big at least as it was before, so it makes you look like you have more hair, and it creates more of a statement, a little bit more visual effect as well. So you want to start at the bottom and then do that going toward the top until you reach the very top of the braid and you have your braid nicely voluminized. Alright, and once that's done, we're going to go ahead and do another Dutch braid on the other side of the part. What's different about this one is that you're actually braiding this one at the back of the section rather than next to the hairline. That's how Demi Lovato's hair was done, and I kind of liked it because that keeps all the visual interest on that one really big braid. But you could always do it right next to your face if you wanted to as well. So you're just going to braid at the back of that section, incorporating hair from both sides until you've incorporated all of it, then fluff it out again like we did on the other side, and that's it for that braid. And then we have a fishtail braid. So you're going to take this section that we left down at the bottom, and basically you're going to go ahead and brush it up toward your face, because you're going to braid toward your face. This braid is going over your head, so it helps if you start it out going up toward your face so you don't end up with any weird bagging. Now if you don't want to take the time to do a fishtail because they take forever, you could do a normal braid here as well. And don't forget of course to pull the braid apart to make it look extra big and awesome. And now the final braid. Are you guys tired of braiding it? You're going to take this last section, which was the crown section, and if you want to make this easy on yourself, just do a normal braid. If you want to be extra fancy, do either a lace braid or a Dutch braid along the nape of your neck. Honestly, there's not a huge difference either way. I just was feeling extra fancy that day when I was filming. And then of course finish it off with a normal braid, fluff it out. You guys know how this goes by now, right? And now we're going to put it all together. So first of all, you want to take care of the front. So you're going to take that fishtail braid and pull it over the top of your head, and then pin it in place underneath the other Dutch braid on the other side of your head. Even if your hair is a little shorter, it ought to make it at least to the top of that braid. Then for the back, you're going to do whatever works with your hair length. For what I did first was to pin this one braid going toward the right, just so that I could continue working with it. But before I did that, because I only had a little bit of hair left from that first Dutch braid, I went ahead and put it underneath the second Dutch braid and kind of hid it, except for that one end that was sticking out, so that I wouldn't have to deal with it. And then with the remaining braids that I had left, I made kind of a smile-ish shape to continue the shape of the crown going around my head. So I pulled that one that was going to the right all the way across my head, and then I'm taking this one that was on the right all the way to the left and pinning it down. And then all you have to do is work with the little ends. So I'm tucking my ends in and then pinning that in place, and then to tuck these ends in, I'm actually pinning it underneath my fishtail braid because that's just how it worked out. But literally every time I've done this, I've done that last part different, just depending on how the braids worked out. So once you get all the braids done, pin your fishtail braid and then just do whatever you need to do. Figure it out for yourself on your own hair, and I think it'll work out well for you. So that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Make sure to check out my previous video and come back next week for some Halloween hair tutorials. I'll see you then. Mwah!